Hey everybody, this is a test broadcast. I think I have everything sorted out. Just one last thing I'm waiting to load is the chat. The chat did not load properly. So just when you think you have everything sorted out, something doesn't work. So as soon as I've got the chat working, reset docs, we will start. Oh, that looks much better. That looks much better. Okay, let's get the chat. Come on, work. I wonder if I need to go over here to restream. New window. Let's figure out why the chat isn't working. So I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good afternoon. Thank you for joining me at Life with Parkinson's. My name is David. I'm thinking I've got everything sorted out for streaming. But the chat is not loading, and this is the first time the chat has been a problem. So I need to figure out why. Why isn't the chat loading? There's the chat. Okay. Embed chat. Launch chat. The chat is ready to display messages. Okay. Let's see if it's ready. And as soon as the chat's loaded, we will start on our broadcast. Chat. Yay! The chat loaded. Woohoo! Hey Benito, good to see you as well. I can speak because this is a live broadcast. The only way you can talk to me is through the chat. So, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, live broadcasts seem to be the wave of the future for some reason. I don't know why, but people really like them. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to go through my pages. So I've got browser, me with the camera, so show video capture device, hide video capture device, show audio input, there we go, and E and F, show video capture, hide video capture. Okay, everything's working. Let's get going. This is a practice run for our first official broadcast. Oh, the audio. Yeah, the audio seems to be working. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to play around with it. Usually I put my wireless mic on, but since everybody seems to be able to hear me. Now, if there's any problems with the broadcast right now, please let me know in the chat so I can fix it right now. This has taken like 4 days to figure out. I'm not really a big technical person, so let me know if there's any problems at all right now. And if it's all good, I'll just plow ahead. And I just want to give people that are just finding the broadcast now a minute or two to join us. And this is a run through for next Thursday. I'm going to go over the topic, just practice switching windows. And as you can see, it's going to be about turn 2. Okay, why is that flashing red? Okay, no, I'm not going to worry about it. It's flashing red. I'm okay with it. No problem. Okay. How's your treatment? Rouge, Villambal, Sonar, electricity at your fingers. Okay, yeah, my treatments are going really well. Benito, thank you for asking. I still use my red light therapy panel every morning and every night for Rouge Care Canada. I use my Villambal 2 to 3 times a day, mostly 3 times. Sonar, I don't know what the Sonar is. I don't have anything like a Sonar. Electricity at your fingertips? No, I don't use the gloves anymore. I don't use the Parkinson's gloves anymore. They really gave me some bad overstimulation problems, so I had to pack it in with those. Oh, yeah, and I'm glad you're asking me about my treatments because I got to take a pill. So, yeah, we'll start. I'm so happy I've got this sorted out. I was getting frustrated a couple nights ago, I got to tell you. It was getting to me. I'm like, why can't I figure this out? Why won't my computer work? And my computer's getting old. The computer is getting really old. If there's anybody out there who is, gonna get like rid of their old computer and it's still really good, and it's got like a good graphics memory chip in it, like a laptop, and you want to send it, I will gladly save it from the recycle bin. Okay. Okay. Okay, medication's down. I've got my cup of chamomile tea to keep me nice and relaxed. Okay. Thank you. Again, thank you everybody for coming. It's not really Thursday yet, but we're going to do a test broadcast, and I have some exciting news. Yeah. Obviously, this is going to be repeated next Thursday, but I have some exciting news. Our sponsor, I gotta get that out of the window a little bit more. Our sponsor, Turn2, is allowing me to hand out a free 6-month account for their new AI research app. So we're going to be able to give that away. How many levodopa do you take? Okay. So I was. Okay, well, it seems to vary every day, and it seems to vary depending on what I'm doing. Like when I was at the height of my fast walking routine, I was down to about 1,750 milligrams. Chair's going around. There we go. 1,750 milligrams a day. Right now, I'm at about 2,400 milligrams a day. Just because I can't do the walking that I used to. I gave myself a repetitive knee strain injury on both my knees, and my left knee is all better, but my right knee just will not recover. It just won't get better, and it's driving me bananas. So I'm not able to walk like I used to. I'm not able to walk like 6 to 10 kilometers a day right now. If I keep it at like 3 or 4, I'm okay, but my knee still hurts. And the more I walk, the less levodopa I'm able to take. It's just I get more exercise benefit, people like to call it. And I'm just going to give my knee a little massage while we're sitting here chatting. So it's very, very frustrating not to be able to do what I used to do. Because I got to give my knee a break. If I don't give my knee a break, it's not going to get better. But I don't know what else to do. I can't stop walking. I got to walk a little bit every day. So that's where I'm at with my medication. I take a combination of instant release and controlled release, like Rytary. Of course, they're just the generic kind. Okay, I'm having problems. Everything's still going wrong. No, it's actually not that bad. There we go. This should connect. And then up. Oh. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm just trying to hook up my bone conduction speaker. So I give myself a little massage on my knee. Okay, should go now, and then we'll get on chatting. Yeah, so I'm just not able to. I'm just not able to get the same walking benefit I used to. Why won't my speaker hook up to my phone? Come on. Pair. Oh, I know. It hooked up to my computer. One sec. Take off the computer. Thank you for being so patient and waiting. Disconnect. There we go. Bluetooth. Now it should connect. You know, there's something to be said for not having all these devices when we were growing up as kids. Life was much simpler then. There we go. Life is much simpler without all these devices. There we go. Okay. My friend has a friend who had surgery in the head. What do you think? Okay. Deep brain stimulation. Okay. Well, for me, I've looked at deep brain stimulation, and I would never, okay, don't get me wrong, I would never stop anybody at all who wanted to get deep brain stimulation and get relief from their symptoms. I would never advise anybody against it, just because I know how bad our symptoms are. And I know how bad the Parkinson's can get. Well, yeah, I haven't been at the end of my rope, but I've met people, and I've met people who have passed away from Parkinson's complications, and I do miss them. And, when I do meet someone at support group and they're having a really hard time with Parkinson's, and then they eventually die, whatever, it's very sad. It's very sad to see people with Parkinson's pass away, because it just gets you in the heart, right? It's just, I wish I could do something to help them. I wish I could do, like, when I first started going to support groups, there was this really nice guy, I'd say maybe 10 years older than me, and he used to have an orchard. And the neurologist figured he got Parkinson's from the pesticides, but he wasn't able to get a deep brain stimulation because he wasn't a good candidate, because the symptoms were too progressed. And then eventually his wife had to put him into a home because she couldn't take care of him anymore. And then I heard a couple months later that he passed away. I was just like, what? He's gone? So I would never stop anybody who wanted a deep brain stimulation and could get it, because the Parkinson's can get really bad that we can die from the symptoms. But for me, right now, I really don't want a deep brain stimulation, because I've looked into it, and from the people I've talked to, it seems to be very consistent that people's symptoms will come back after 5 to 7 years. Like, I've talked to a lot of people who have had deep brain stimulations, and that seems to be fairly common. Somewhere around year 6, the symptoms that the deep brain stimulation covered up seem to start coming back. So me, I'm 51, I turned 52 in December. The deep brain stimulation, if I got one tomorrow, wouldn't even take me to 60. And at 60, I'd be looking for, I'm just going to say, another miracle. So I'm doing everything I can to delay a deep brain stimulation, just because I'm going to be sitting there waiting for the symptoms to come back. I know I am. That's just the way I am. And my wife would probably agree. I'd be like, do you think the symptoms are coming back, sweetheart? Do you think they're coming back? I'd be asking her like every day. So I think the results I've heard from deep brain stimulations, like at my local support group, someone who's 60 just got a deep brain stimulation, and he can drive again. Like, he can drive again. I'm like, wow, he can drive again. It's just amazing. Just amazing what technology and stuff can do these days. But another one of the reasons is because I'm afraid of needles. And I don't know if I could sit there in the chair with that big halo thing screwed to my forehead for around 4 hours while they, drilled into my head, and just all the sensations of that. Like, I had an operation on one of my feet where they had to take some bone matter from my knee and put it into my foot to fuse a joint to cover up the pain I was experiencing. And that was the worst experience of my life. I mean, the drills were going, the hammer was going, the chisel was going, I don't want to even I'm getting woozy talking about it. I just don't want to go through that again. So, Benito, these are great questions. Feel free to keep them coming. But, so this is a test broadcast in preparation of our broadcast next Thursday at noon Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to run a live broadcast every Thursday. I said Tuesday. Every Thursday for a while. Okay, I just got to open up my window. I'm dying of heat in here. There we go. That's better. A little bit more airflow. Yeah, so every Thursday at noon Pacific Standard Time, we're going to have a live broadcast. And I've lined up an interview already with Comfort Linen, the founder and the inventor, for September 11th. And I'm going to be contacting more people as well. But our first broadcast is going to be sponsored by Turn2. And they've built an amazing product. This is Turn2, and we'll go to the dashboard. Home. Welcome to Turn2 AI Beta. So they're giving me a free account that I can give away. And it's a 6-month account, and it's going to be worth $130 American. So whoever wins, well, we'll have a draw. And if you want to enter the draw, all you got to say is we'll just have enter or ask a question. We'll figure something out. And then so the broadcast is an hour, and then at the 45-minute mark, we'll have a draw. And you'll need to be there to win at the 45-minute mark, because we'll need at least your email to give to Turn2 to send you the free account. So the account costs Turn2 $5 American a week to run. So yeah, 26 weeks times 5 is about $130. $130 US. And I'm so pumped to be able to give that away. That is really exciting. And what can Turn2 do for you? You're asking, Dave, what can Turn2 do for me? Well, this is what it can do. If you have, say, some friends that have other conditions, right now they're treating CFS, they're not treating, but the research assistant is set up for chronic fatigue syndrome, cerebral palsy, Parkinson's, or long COVID. Then they have to discover treatments or lists, and then of course your search history, and then your personalized updates. And of course there's the community app. Now the community app is pretty cool, because what they've done is, we don't need this window open, because what they've done is, the last year or so they've had the Turn2 app, so they've built up a massive database of patient reaction to different treatments. And so this is the one thing that I believe is missing from, when you're searching on Google or whatever search engine that you're using, and you say, okay, you ask a question like, what's the best diet for Parkinson's? But you won't get patient reactions. You won't get comments or stuff from people who have actually tried different diets. Well, on the Turn2 AI app, you will. And that's the amazing thing about it, is that they built up a database for their AI. Okay, so let's go to Parkinson's. We'll ask, what is the best diet? What is the can't spell. What is the best And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's great. That's what we did, and that's what we're still doing to this day. We've never slowed down. And I do tons of research for this channel, and I'm learning something every week. So, but it's just when you're new and you've been recently diagnosed and you're like wading into all these different groups that do like different research groups and foundations and stuff, and you're just like lost in a maze of research. Having a subscription like Turn2 will really help sort out the bad stuff from the good stuff, because that's what Turn2 will do. It's quite possible, though. Quite possible. So, yeah, if anybody has a question they'd like me to throw through the research assistant, shout it out. Let me know. Okay, we'll go back. Go back, go back, go back. Oh, okay, so we can ask a new question down here. Cool. Let's see if one has come in. And like I said earlier, next Thursday when we have this broadcast, Turn2 is giving me a free account to give away to someone watching. I'm really excited about that. And yeah, if you buy a monthly subscription to Turn2, use the link there I put into the chat. I'll see if I can pin that comment. There's still a lot about this software that I don't know about. No, I can't pin the comment. That's okay. Oh, there's settings. No. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, I think this is a great program and a great setup for people newly diagnosed, just because that was the big thing at the beginning for me. Definitely was sorting out like the good research from the bad. Well, not good from bad, but people. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet about chronic illness and definitely Parkinson's. It's just because people don't really recognize it. People don't really understand it, and hence we get a lot of misinformation. And of course, sometimes the research doesn't always add up. Sometimes it's almost like snake oil. Okay, so I'm going to ask another question. How long considering? see. Yeah, okay. When I typed in the question, it turned off the audio. Okay, so I got to be careful about that. It's really good to know. I didn't anticipate that at all. That's why I got turned off. Okay. That's good to... Okay. Deep brain stimulation devices typically last 3 to 5 years before the battery needs replacement. The rechargeable models can last up to 15 years. Wow. Since you're considering DBS and managing symptoms like dyskinesia and freezing of gait, it's worth noting that DBS can be particularly effective for these motor symptoms, but its long-term success depends on careful programming and ongoing adjustments to your treatment plan. Deep brain stimulation is a surgical treatment for Parkinson's disease that can provide long-term symptom relief. Here is what is known about how long its effects last. Okay, so they've got a summary here. Wow. Okay, so there's most people here are saying 10 years. Okay, I haven't met anybody that's had success for 10 years. Mixed or negative experiences. Okay, one person had it in 2010, but turned it off in 2016. Wow. Okay, then we got patient reaction. Research says 10 years. Okay, all the research is saying 10 years. I guess my anecdotal experience is not super common. Okay, well, 10 years is good. I'd be happy with 10 years. What do you guys think? Is 10 years doable for deep brain stimulation? What do you think? If I got 10 years out of it, I'd be like 61. Yeah, I still like to wait till I was at least 60. I don't know if it's possible, but that's just kind of what I would like to do. Okay. Restream chats. Okay, let's throw another question into Turning. Let's see what's a good question. Okay. Here's a question I've got. Is Is a replacement coming for L-Dopa? That's what I would like to know. Well, no, I'm just going to put no. I forgot about that. Great, let's go. Is a replacement coming for L-Dopa? L-Dopa is great, but I think they really need to have another medication. I don't think young onset Parkinson's disease patients should be taking the same medication as people with Parkinson's who are diagnosed later in life. I just think there are too many complications with L-Dopa. When you get up to the higher doses, like over 2,000 milligrams a day, that's when most people seem to start having problems with young onset. It's just my own personal beef, my own personal opinion. Unfortunately, I can't change the world. Okay, oh, we got our answer. Let's flip over there. Is a replacement for L-Dopa being developed? Generated by Turney. Emerging treatments for Parkinson's disease are being explored, but none have yet been replaced. L-Dopa as the gold standard for managing motor symptoms. Since your focus includes dyskinesia, insomnia, and freezing and gait, any potential replacement would need to address these symptoms effectively. Your interest in biofield tuning and biochemical approaches like high-dose thiamine therapy suggest you are open to complementary strategies alongside traditional treatments. Yes, I am open to complementary strategies because L-Dopa doesn't treat many symptoms, and balance is not one of them. Oh, okay. Well, L-Dopa remains the gold standard for managing Parkinson's symptoms. Several emerging treatments and research developments are exploring alternatives. Maybe let's just go there. What are alternate things? Tabapidon, a dopamine partial agonist. Oh. Okay, I don't want any dopamine agonists again. Thank you very much. Monotherapy for early Parkinson's. Interesting. Adjunct therapy advanced. So just basically medications, which always have loads of side effects. They're just mentioning the usual stuff. Check out this research thing. And then of course there's the natural source of L-Dopa Nucanapurians, which does sound really interesting. It's just something I haven't started yet. But the research says that it's just not coming. It'd just be nice if they would develop a different strain of L-Dopa, change it a little bit so it doesn't affect the young onset crowd so quickly. Who, all the people I know with young onset that are having problems are well over 2,000 milligrams a day of medication. And that seems to be, from what I've observed, the magic number for having problems. So I would like to get back under 2,000 milligrams a day, and that'll be my goal now that the thiamine is starting to work. Okay, so now if this was next Thursday, we would have the draw for the free account. That would be fun, and then we would probably just have like a question and answer period. So are there any more questions about Parkinson's things out there? Anybody have any burning questions, thoughts, comments, anything before we start wrapping this up? Now is your chance. Now is your opportunity. Yeah, and I realize this is not like entirely live. There's some sort of lag in there. I think it's like around 10 to 20 seconds. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why it's just not like instantly live. It would make asking questions a lot easier. The chat is it's completely live. Like the chat is, there's no delay in the chat, but there's definitely a delay in the broadcasting. And I don't know why that is. Well, I'm pretty pumped about how this has gone tonight. This is much better from 4 days ago. Everything is working well. I mean, I can flip between the different windows. I can flip back. Everything is working. It's really nice. Oh, except now my mouse has disappeared. Oh my goodness. There's always something. Let's see if I can... Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, well, thank you everybody for logging in and checking out today's broadcast. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday at noon Pacific Standard Time. And you have a good night. I will see you on the next one.